Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Monday, August 23rd Maplewood City Council meeting. I wanted to start out tonight with a couple of pieces of news about what's happening around town. And as some of you probably saw in both the Minneapolis and St. Paul papers, the census data is out. And I'm pleased to announce that as of April 1st, 2020, the city of Maplewood had 16,569 housing units, 15,994 households, and 42,088 people, of whom 984 lived in group quarters facilities. Household size averaged 2.57 persons per household. There's a lot of really interesting data. The newspapers reported it this weekend. Concerning our growing diversity, which is really an amazing thing. If you want to learn some additional information about Maplewood and how we have grown and changed, Joe Sharon, our communications director, has put on a link so that you can have access to that census information and that you can learn more about our city. Also tonight, I wanted to remind everyone that we are in a drought. That the Mississippi River, which is where we get the majority of our drinking water, it has reached the restrictive phase as defined by the state of Minnesota's statewide drought plan. So what that means just generally for everyone is that we are restricted to watering between, if you have an even numbered address, then you can water on even dates. If you have an odd numbered address, you can water on odd dates. And you can not water in between the times of 6 p.m., or excuse me, I believe it's 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. during the day. That's when it's the hottest and water is most likely to evaporate. Now, because we are in this restrictive phase, I just want to remind everyone that you are also subject to potential fines. The first violation is really an educational notice. The second violation is a written warning. The third violation is $50. The fourth violation is $100, and the fifth and all additional violations is $150 plus the water is shut off to the property. So we're really taking this very seriously. This is a time for mandatory water conservation. Do what you can. I know that the weather forecast said the other night that we were going to get some rain. Was it Friday night, I think? And basically we got nothing. So hopefully in these next few days we are going to get some more water, but we are really in drought conditions, something a little bit unusual for us, but I hope everyone will take it seriously and could do what you can to conserve water. So with that, everyone, let us stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll get started tonight. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. City Clerk Sint, would you do the roll call, please, for us?
Councilmember Villavicencio. Here. Councilmember Cave.
Here.
Councilmember Juniman.
Here.
Councilmember Knudsen.
Here.
Mayor Abrams.
Here. Thank you very much. Council members, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I move approval of the agenda.
Second.
Moved by Juniman, seconded by Cave, the motion to approve the agenda. Is there any further discussion? Any additions, council members? Okay, then hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes. Moving on to the approval of minutes. First, we have the August 9th, 2021 workshop meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Knudsen, seconded by Juniman, the motion to approve the August 9th, 2021 City Council workshop meeting minutes. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, then all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Moving on to the August 9th, 2021 City Council meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Knudsen, seconded by Juniman, the motion to approve the August 9th, 2021 City Council meeting minutes. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, then all those signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Any nays? Motion passes, sorry. Appointments and presentations, administrative presentations, City Manager Coleman.
Thank you, Mayor Abrams, members of the City Council. This is a calendar update. Our upcoming agenda items that are scheduled for September 13th, we will have an EDA meeting. And at the City Council meeting, we will do the preliminary levy for the 2022 budget. On September 27th, we will have commission interviews. And I think we have a really nice group of people applying to be on our board. So the first, we're going to do the CDRB first that evening and see where we get with that. But we have a lot of applications this time around, so that's really positive. At the council meeting, we will do the final review of the American Recovery Plan Act and how we plan to use those funds. And we're also going to have a status report on the Park and Recreation and Nature Center Task Force recommendations, and those will be at the council meeting. In terms of upcoming community and staff events, on this Wednesday at 7:30 to 9 a.m., there is a North End engagement meeting which relates to our zoning changes that follow the North End plan and our comprehensive plan. So that's Wednesday morning at the mall. On September 9th is the city employee picnic, and that is for staff only, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., and City Council is also invited to attend that. This year the department heads are sponsoring it, and so we've decided to do something really easy, and we're going to have 2 food trucks. So that should be kind of fun. It'll be at the Public Works Building. On 9/11, there is a Touch a Truck event at Maplewood Mall at 11:30 a.m. On October 7th will be our staff retreat, and I think we're going to end up at Wakefield. I don't think the MCC is available. So with that, Mayor, I'm here to listen to any concerns or topics that you might want staff to look into a little bit on behalf of council.
Thank you very much, City Manager Coleman. I wanted to bring up an issue. It's something that I frequently hear about from residents. And what I'm talking about is the city code violations for the location of trash containers. I don't know if council members, you receive a number of those calls, but I certainly get calls and emails about this. And also when I'm out in the city in person, I get questions about this. It seems that as time goes by, more trash cans, recycling containers are left out on people's driveways, which is actually in violation of city code. And the complaint is that it starts making neighborhoods look junky and kind of unsightly. And I received an email from a resident by the name of Terry, and it was a very well-written email, and she identified some of the issues. And she indicated that right now our city code says that trash containers that they cannot be behind the front line of the dwelling. And sometimes that can get confusing when you have a multi-level home or a home that has different, I don't even know what the word is called, but where the garage is behind and then the house is up front, or the house is up front and the garage is behind. What is the front part of the dwelling? And what she did was she outlined she compared another nearby city, Woodbury. They have a very clear and concise requirement that refuse or waste and recycling containers must be located indoors or be fully hidden behind a solid fence or wall. I think it's becoming an issue. I think that people aren't recognizing it. And I don't know, is this an educational piece? Is this something that we really need to change in terms of looking at our ordinance? What are other cities doing out there? So, Council, what I would like to suggest is that we have staff take a look at other cities and what they're doing. Also possibly talk to our code enforcement, because it's one of those things that it's a small thing. I think if people just knew that they can't leave their garbage and recycling out on their driveway, that maybe that will fix the problem. But it's getting to be a problem. And I think this week, if you look around as you are driving, that you too will see this. And what I always try to suggest to people who make that complaint is, first, have you talked to your neighbor? And some people are not comfortable doing that, and so I have referred them to code enforcement. But I hate doing that because it seems like we should be able to talk to our neighbors. But maybe we need to do an educational piece. I don't know. But I'm getting enough of these complaints and concerns, and now I guess I drive around the city and I'm spotting it all over. And I think you will too, as we've now kind of talked about that. But what I would suggest is we have staff research it, come back to us and look at, is this a problem? Is this unclear to people? And what can we do to make it more clear? Because if we've got a city ordinance, we really should be enforcing it. Councilmember Juniman, you had a comment.
Yeah, because I've also had some questions about this. It also says in our ordinance that you may not put your trash cans and recycling containers out before 6 p.m. of the night before it's picked up, and it must be gone by 6 p.m. on the day of trash pickup. And I've heard some people complaining about that, and I don't blame them. Some people just leave them out for 2 or 3 days at the end of the driveway. Not a great idea. So we should probably have them look at that at the same time.
So, council members, what do you think about asking staff to research this, take a look at what other cities are doing near us, and then bring the information back to us? I see a nod from Councilmember Cave and Councilmember Juniman and Councilmember Knutson. Councilmember Villavicencio? Okay. So we can add that to our list with today's date that we're asking staff to look into this. And Terry, our resident, I suggested that she could look in on the meeting tonight. We're going to research the concern that you raised concerning the trash and recycling containers. So thank you for bringing that to our attention. Any other comments or additions that you'd like to make to City Manager Coleman's report? Councilmember Juniman, did you have something? Okay. All right. There were no council presentations tonight. And so we move on to the consent agenda. Councilmember Juniman.
I'd like us to highlight G4, please.
Okay, that one is highlighted. Councilmember Juniman, did you want to pull number 7 so that we could discuss that, since it is a liquor license, and I know that you generally like to speak to the liquor store owners?
Sure.
Okay, then we will pull that and discuss it. In fact, we can do the highlight and then number 7 first, and then we'll go on to the rest of them. Anything else? Okay. Then let's look at number 4, which is the Priory Preserve Trail Improvement. City Manager Coleman, do you want to take this one?
Sure. Thank you, Mayor, members of the City Council. This is a request as part of our Park System Master Plan implementation to do a repair and additional trails for the Priory Preserve, and this would be funded through the Park Improvement Fund. Staff went out for bids on this, and we got several bids. Some were for replacement with wooden pieces. It would be a wood construction, and some of them were aluminum. The bid that we got that we thought was the best one is with Sunram, and they are doing a wooden boardwalk and improvements, and that bid came in at $126,450, which is the lowest of the wood construction. And we talked about this. I talked with Otter Robbins quite a bit about whether or not it would make more sense to try to do aluminum boardwalk, but we really felt like it just wouldn't feel natural.
No.
And I think my experience is that could get a little slippery too and icy, and so we felt that going with the wooden structure boardwalk made more sense. So with that, we're looking for approval of that amount of $126,450. As I mentioned, would come out of the park Improvement Fund.
Thank you. Councilmember Knudsen, you wanted to comment
Mayor,
on that
can I
too?
just make one comment?
Sure. Look, since you highlighted it, Councilmember Juniman, do you want to go first and then
Thanks.
Councilmember Knudsen?
I just wanted people to be aware that we are doing this because people are a little confused, I think, because of the whole nature center being closed and stuff, and what are we doing? And so I'd like people to know that we are still keeping up all the trails at the nature center and that we are keeping up with the park improvement plan, including on the open spaces. So we haven't given up at all on nature and conservation. So I just wanted them to know.
And in fact, we approved $75,000 to redo some of the boardwalk in the nature center, and I understand that that is completed at this
That's
time,
completed, yep.
which is really quite lovely. So, and it is wood. I like that. Councilmember Knudsen.
I just have a comment. The source, to fund all this is, I think, most likely from the park access charge. And I remember when I first started developing in Maplewood, I heard SAC, PAC, and WAC, and I thought, what on earth is this acronym all about? And it was park access fee. And I thought, I grumbled and grumbled. What a thing to do, to charge developers. Now I live in Maplewood for 37 years, and I'm on this council, and I'm thinking, wow, what a great idea. I mean, this really is a great opportunity to build the quality of life in Maplewood, and it's certainly a reasonable thing to ask developers to do. Just a comment.
Thank you very much for that. Okay, then let's move on to number 7. This is concerning the off-sale intoxicating liquor license for Tucola LLC, who is purchasing Syrac's International Wine and Spirits. City Clerk Sint, do you want to take this one?
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. So tonight you have in front of you an off-sale intoxicating liquor application. We're looking for your approval. This is for Biniam Tucola to take over the ownership and management of Syrac's at 2305 Stillwater Road. He has undergone a background investigation, and he has met with PD to go over the sale of, to restrict and prohibit this the sale of liquor to underage individuals and just general business practice. And with that, tonight we are asking for your approval to grant the city the ability to tell the state that we have approved this license, because then they do their part for every off sale. They do their own investigation and go on site and make sure everything is good too. And then they will let us know, and then we will let Biniam know that he can take over ownership.
Okay. Thank you very much. Is Biniam here, Mr. Tucola? Would you like to join us at the dais, please? Would you like an opportunity to tell us a little bit about your business?
My business, I had a liquor store back in Denver. I had it for almost 5 years, so I do have experience on that field. So actually, I came in here for a wedding. I ended up looking at this store, then I decided to go for it.
Okay. Councilmember Juniman.
Oh, yes. Here it comes. I'm the one up here who has taken it upon myself all these many years to make sure that people who have a liquor license know the responsibility involved. And I know you've met with someone from the police department, and so you're aware of what our rules are, but I want to emphasize to you that we are really not happy when an underage person can purchase alcohol in your establishment. Did that message get through to you?
Yes, I do have 2 boys, one in college, first year. I have a 14 years old, junior high school, so that would, so I don't want my kids to do the same thing, so I'm very strict on this.
Okay, I encourage you to look into the either the training through the Minnesota Beverage Association, or I know that some stores have put in on their registers actual readers to see if the driver's license has a valid date on it. And I have to say that there have been some issues at this site in the past because it's on a nice getaway street, might I say. Mm-hmm. So you might have to deal with this, and I just want you to be prepared, because when you take this license, we're going to hold you responsible, and I just assume you came in here smiling and glad you're here, and I didn't have to say anything to you about what.
I do understand that. I make sure that we...
And anyone who works for you will also be trained.
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Council members, any other questions before we take a motion to approve the consent agenda? Is there a motion?
I move consent agenda items G1 through 11.
Second.
Moved by Juniman, seconded by Cave. Consent agenda items number 1, G1 through 11. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, then all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Welcome, Vinium, to Maplewood. Council members, we have no public hearings tonight. We have no unfinished business. We are now moving on to new business. We have an on-sale wine license that is coming before us with Asian Fusion Kitchen. City Clerk Sint, would you give us the report, please?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So tonight we have for your consideration approval of an on-sale wine license for Asian Fusion Kitchen at 1700 Rice Street, Suite G. In conjunction with this wine license, they have also applied for a 3.2 on-sale license, which does not require council approval. And per state laws, the combination of the wine and the 3.2, they then are able to serve strong beer and wine. This restaurant has been open since October of 2020, and if approved tonight, we will notify the state that this activity has been approved. The state will conduct an on-site inspection, and they will notify us when they approve it so we can pass along the license to the applicant. For approval purposes, there was a background investigation conducted on the owner and manager, Saw Yu Yunt, and nothing was identified that would prohibit the issuance of these licenses. The police department has met with him and gone over general expectations regarding the service of alcohol. And state alcohol enforcement will also be working with them to provide guidance and best practice recommendations. So tonight we are looking for a motion to approve the issuance of the on-sale wine license for Asian Fusion Kitchen at 1700 Rice Street, Suite G. And the owner-manager, Mr. Yunt, is here to speak if you would like him to.
Thank you very much. Mr. Yunt, would you like to join us, please, at the DS? Welcome, Mr. Yunt. Tell us about your business.
Business is, we would like to plan to add it, so wine beer. So I don't know, so because it's my first time to talk a lot of people like that, so so like a nephew or scary or something like that. But I don't know what you guys say.
Okay. And I want to thank you for your participation with the Rice Larpenter Summer Block Party.
Thank you.
You served, I know, a lot of really good food samples.
Thank you.
I enjoyed them very much, and I would encourage everyone to go and try their food. So anyway, thank you very much. You can have a seat.
Thank you so much.
Or wait, let me ask. Council members, do you have any questions? Councilmember Juniman?
I'm going to say to you basically what I said to the other gentleman. Even though it's just a wine and beer license, it is alcohol, and we don't want you to ever serve it to people who are underage. So you're going to have to be very careful, you and whoever works with you, that you don't serve it to anyone who shouldn't have it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Now you can have a seat. Thanks. Okay, any further discussion, council members? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the on-sale wine license for Asian Fusion Kitchen located at 1700 Rice Street, Suite G.
Moved by Knutson, seconded by Villavicencio. The motion to approve the on-sale wine license for Asian Fusion Kitchen located at 1700 Rice Street, Suite G. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, then let's take a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. Welcome to the City of Maplewood for your wine and beer license. Thank you. Wine license, I should say. Sorry. Next, we have a massage center license for body work by Christy Joy. City Clerk Sint.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So tonight we have another approval for, this time for a massage center license. Crystal Board is requesting approval of a massage center license for Body Work by Crystal Joy. It will be located inside Maplewood Wellness Center at 2103 County Road D East, Suite A. Ms. Board will be the owner, manager, and therapist, and the center will work with patients referred from the wellness center. A background investigation was conducted on her, and Sergeant Steiner has met with her about general expectations and rules in operating a massage center. Nothing was identified that would prohibit the issuance of the license. And upon council approval and any remaining department approvals, the city will issue the massage center license to her. So we are asking tonight for a motion to approve the massage center license for Bodywork by Crystal Joy.
And she is here tonight also, if you would like to have her address the council.
Thank you very much. Ms. Board, would you like to join us up at the dais, please? Tell us about your business.
My business is therapeutic injury treatment, kind of, so it's not like a fluff. It's all about more like physical therapy type of massage body work. So it's clothes are on most of the time. I just like to make people feel better. I've been doing this for 18 years, so and I'm still learning, still growing, and I love this area. So,
thank you. Council members, any questions for Ms. Board? Councilmember Juniman.
I don't actually think it's for her. I think it's for staff. I think it's for Andrea. Back here in the recesses somewhere, I recall that for a while we had a couple of things going where there's a license for the center and then there's one for the therapist. Is that correct?
City Clerk Sint.
Yes, Mayor and Council, so yes, that is correct. So she will have a massage center license. She will also have a license as the massage therapist. That just doesn't require approval by council.
Thank you. Just want to make sure that I had it straight. We're only dealing with putting the business in the building. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Is there a motion then from council?
I'll motion to approve the massage center license for Bodywork by Christy Joy, located at 2103 County Road D East, Suite A.
Moved by Cave, seconded by Juniman. The motion to approve the massage center license for Bodywork by Christy Joy, located at 2103 County Road D Suite A. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. Welcome.
thank you very much.
We have one more agenda item. It is an update to the charitable gambling policies. Mr. Sable, this is your report.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. If you recall at the last city council meeting that we had this brief discussion about changes to the potential charitable gambling policy and the ordinance that goes with it. And at the time, the council direction was to staff was to go back and to take an attempt to prioritize among the 6 areas that were identified and to see if there was some common sense categories that could be linked together. Working with staff, we did identify what we think was the appropriate response, which is to stagger 2 categories every 3 years and to prioritize larger dollar amount awards within these specific categories. And so in year 1, the proposal is to have the emphasis on charitable gambling be on social supports and senior citizen services. In year 2, youth programs and community engagement and events. And in year 3, environment and natural resources, along with safety programs. Based on our history of the 18 to 23 typical applicants that we get, we think we will have a good cross-section. What we will also do as part of our next Maplewood Living, we will put in there some information to organizations on how to apply and then what our criteria or priority areas will be. So what we're asking is for approval of this. The one caveat I think that is important to note is if there's not enough applicants within a specific priority category, the council still has the ability to give to others. So if it's a great environmental program, but it's in an off year and there's still some movement or ability, you do have the flexibility to do that. But for us, the promotion to people who typically apply for this, again, will result in fewer high dollar awards, which we think will be more impactful and make a better result in the community. And so the charitable gambling policies, you have a red line version of what that looks like and the rotation, and happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for putting this together. I think it certainly makes our actions much more strategic. One question that I would have, I really like the way that you have year 1, 2, and 3 spelled out. We may need a definition of social supports. I understand, I think, because I was part of the discussions, it has to do with food, it has to do with potential job services, it has to do with, a variety of other social supports, but we may need to make that a little bit more clear, just so that agencies or nonprofits, whoever is making an application, has an idea on what that could possibly mean. That's just my thought. Council members, any other thoughts on this? Councilmember Juniman.
I have a question about whether we're still going to have on the application their willingness to accept a lesser amount than their full request. So, and we could get better at it than we were before, and say, what is the minimum award that would be helpful, or something like that nature.
I think that's a good suggestion, because otherwise I know that we have had organizations that have left money on the table, and that really is sad. I like that idea. Council members, anyone else on that? Okay. Mr. Sable, did you get that in terms of the application process and what we might want to add?
Mayor and council members, yes. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Council members, I see no other lights on. Then is there a motion?
I move to approve the revision of the charitable gambling policies.
Moved by Juniman, seconded by Villavicencio. The motion to approve the attached revision to the charitable gambling policies. Council members, let's. Is there any further discussion? I almost jumped ahead.
Easy for you to say.
Is there any further discussion? I was on a roll. Okay, hearing no further discussion, then let's move to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. Thank you very much, staff, for doing that. And council members, we are at the end of our agenda, and I just want to note the time as 7:32. So with that, we are adjourned, and we got a lot of business done tonight. So thank you, everyone.